Organic, gluten-free, sweetened with honey. That sounds yummy to me. Thank you, sir. Today I'm with Grace. She's the co-founder of Pot Lover Grace.
Yep.
Grace, tell us your story. How did you get involved in coming to craft show like this?
So I've been doing pottery for 10 years, and I didn't start doing craft markets like this until last summer. I sold with Provo Farmers Market for the first time at their summer park location in Provo. And I've been doing it about once a month ever since last summer. And it's really fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I guess, can you go a little bit deeper on how you ended up doing pottery? Is that something you did in high school, or what is the story behind that?
Yeah. So I actually, the first time I played with clay, I was probably 8 years old and I loved it. And then in high school, I took all the pottery electives you could take, and I loved it. And then when I got to college, I knew I wanted to study art, but I didn't know what kind. And ultimately, it just came back to ceramics and my love for pottery and ceramics. So I got my bachelor's degree in fine art in ceramics and pottery. And that was about 4 years ago. I graduated. So ever since then, I've just been creating my own studio out of my home. And I finally got up the courage to come to art markets and put my work on display and sell it to my local community here in Utah. So it's been about 10 years of me making props.
Nice. That is a long time, but
Yep.
something that you love, and
I love it. I'm
That's
obsessed
good.
with it.
that's good.
Yeah.
And since you have a lot of experience making it, do you feel, what I'm trying to say is, when I go to some market sometime, I see people selling stuff like Mary Kay and stuff from Timu and stuff like that. I feel like it is an insult to crafter like you
Yeah.
that actually make it, study it.
Yeah.
What is your take on that? When you come to market like this, you see those MLM stuff.
Well, I'm not too offended by it, really. Mostly, I just hope that I can find the customers that value handmade, sustainable products from a local women-owned business. It does kind of discourage me that there is a market for those kinds of products still, but I'm hopeful in the future that I can continue to do this as a business, and that the demand for handmade pottery will never go away, because it's been around for hundreds of thousands of years. And
Jesus time, right? Before Jesus.
before Jesus, yeah, pottery developed individually across many different cultures as a response to the need for tools and to have something to eat out of. So humans figured out how to turn dirt into stone and make vessels out of this stone. And I just think that we will never stop making vessels out of stone.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful for the future. And I don't really care about MLMs. I think that they'll get what's coming for them. Kind of karma, maybe.
Karma. My first experience with pottery come when I was a little boy in the countryside of Haiti. I remember it was a big pottery pot thing, and we will store the water inside of it, and it will keep the water cool.
Yes, because it's insulating.
Yeah. So we didn't know. I mean, I don't know how my mom got it, but I guess that's what her mom did.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience. But I didn't know it was pottery. I just thought it was something to put water in, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I came to college, I took a pottery class, ceramic class, but that was my only exposure so far.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I like it, but it was tricky when you're trying to be toward in the wheel.
Yeah, the
Trying to
wheel is
control
hard,
it.
huh?
So, yeah. And it was college. I was trying to get my grade and get my general done. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know how it is.
I know how it is. Just gotta get through that art credit, huh?
Exactly. So, what advice would you give to a vendor that want to come to a market like this?
Believe in yourself. Be confident. You have a lot to offer to the community that you may not even realize. I would encourage them to be authentic to their style and the product that they want to sell, and try and look at their services or their product from an outside view to really see how special it is. Because sometimes when we're deep in it ourselves, we can't really understand or see like how great it actually is. And just to like be grateful for every single person who comes up to you and says hi or compliments your product or your work, because that really adds up. And I think gratitude and the energy of like being thankful and grateful for being able to start a business in America it's really special.
There you go. Thanks to the free market,
Capitalism, yep. Capitalism has many pros, but many cons. And so I'm just trying to take advantage of how I can make the best out of this capitalist economy. And that's starting my own business and giving it a shot, trying to become my own employer. That's my dream.
And you have your studio is in your house right now, right?
It's in my backyard.
In your backyard?
Yep.
That's even better. Because I live in a condo. I don't have a backyard.
Yep. I'm very lucky to have it literally steps away from my bedroom. So it makes it really easy to go out and make work and not have to drive anywhere, not have to fire my work in anyone else's kilns but my own.
Oh, you have a kiln?
I have my own kiln, I have my
cool.
own wheel. My space is about 10 feet by 10 feet, so it's not huge, but I make it work. Yeah.
And what's the future? What's the big goal?
My big goal is to make a living from my pots. Right now, I do this part-time. I work part-time for a ceramic studio in Provo. But my dream, my goal is to do this full-time and not work for anyone else. And with the money that I make from selling my art, I can then pay my bills. That's my goal, is just to be self-sustaining. Yeah.
And I think sometimes some markets are expensive to go apply to.
Yeah.
And some of them are cheap.
Yeah.
And some of them you might make the booth fees back. Some of them you don't make the booth fees back.
Yeah.
How do you pick the market to go to?
That's a good question. I look at maybe the demographic of customers who might be attending that market. My product is more expensive than other products, so my ideal customer is someone with a little bit of spending money who wants to invest.
Disposable income.
Someone who values handmade
Draper mom.
Draper moms, more middle-aged people are my ideal customers because they have more money than someone like I'm in my mid-20s. I don't have a lot of disposable income. I wouldn't really be able to justify one of my own pots except maybe 1 or 2 times a year for a special gift or occasion. So I look at, are my ideal customers going to be at this market? And then affordability. To sell at Provo Farmers Market in the winter, it's $40 a day, which is very cheap. I've sold in Park City before, and that booth rent is like $100 a day. So it's a lot more expensive up front, but Park City has wealthier people who live there. So it kind of evens out. And Yeah, sometimes it's hit or miss. Like last month when I sold at Provo Farmers Market, I didn't even make $100. The month before that, I made $200. So it really just depends. It's hard to predict sometimes. But I just trust the process and I thank you. And I say my affirmations like I will make sales today.
Hallelujah.
I thank the universe for the opportunity to even be here, for my body, for my hands, to be able to make this work. Like, I'm very lucky. And I hope it goes somewhere.
That's good. Where are you from, Kate? Where are you from? Sorry.
Grace.
Grace, where are you from?
I'm from Boise, Idaho.
Boise, Idaho. Idaho.
Idaho.
One of the finest states. My wife's from Idaho.
Oh, she is?
Yes. We fought for that land.
Yeah, we did. Potatoes, baby. Potatoes.
She's from Eastern Idaho.
Oh, that's where my parents are from.
She's from a small town called Teton next to St. Anthony, Rexburg area.
Yep. My dad's from St. Anthony.
Oh.
And my mother's from Newdale.
Well, I've been to Newdale.
Yeah.
Barton. Yeah, I've been to this area.
It's small towns. Yeah.
But Kate, I like that I'm glad your gratitudeness or be thankful. As a foreigner to this country, I don't often see it. This is a great country. Mm-hmm. A lot of opportunity, a lot of challenges, but I'm glad you focus on the good.
Yeah.
That you see instead of the negative.
Sometimes I get down, but I'm really trying.
No, you're doing great.
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
So, I'm active on Instagram. My Instagram is potlovergrace, no space. I also have a website, potlovergrace.com, where I have my portfolio of everything I've made in the past. And then I also sell on Etsy. And my Etsy shop is Pot Lover Grace. So everything is the same name all across the board, Pot Lover Grace. That's where you can find me.
All right, Grace. Thank you for taking the time and chatting with us.
You're welcome.
And good luck in the future, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Today I'm with Kit Gluten-Free Kitchen. Kit, can you tell your story on how you started this?
Sure. My mom got diagnosed with celiac in 2002. And then I also found out I had celiac in 2007. And there just wasn't a lot of gluten-free options. And we wanted food to taste good, right? Like you miss out when you first are diagnosed, especially in the early 2000s. So my sister actually started baking and playing with recipes. And my parents created a gluten-free dry mixer facility. So they do dry mixes for companies. And then I started baking. I love to bake anyway. And when I became gluten-free, I started baking gluten-free. And then I would share it with people. And everyone kept saying, you should open a bakery. You should do this. And so I keep playing with recipes. I want it to taste so good that you can't tell it's gluten-free. And I want to make sure that people have options that remind them of how food used to taste before they had to become gluten-free.
Healthy option. That's the way it should be. So when did you start coming to Craft Show with your product?
In 2019, I quit my full-time job and started my bakery out of my home. So this is my 6th season doing markets.
Wow, your experience at this. Yeah. What did you used to do before?
I actually worked for the health department. I did tobacco cessation. I was a health educator.
She's not an ATF agent, people.
No. I helped people quit smoking, and I also did car seat installation and diabetes, self-management courses, and a bunch of other things like that. So.
And how do you find your craft show to go to? Where do you find them?
Just research online. I knew about the Provo Farmers Market, and I started looking up other markets in the area. So Sunset Farmers Markets does 4 or 5 different markets, and Provo just does Provo, and there's a Spanish Fork Market, and the different cities do summer city days too you can apply for, but I mostly just do the farmers markets.
Perfect. I mean, I think you've seen this a lot because you've been coming to market for a long time. Sometimes you see a vendor that come once or twice, and then after that, they stop coming.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? What is the hardest part of being a vendor?
Getting your name out. Hard.
Okay,
Just
no,
one
you're
second.
good.
We gotta pause. Hi, you guys.
Process
How are
that.
you? Doing good. Good. So the two focaccia and the Oreo cake.
Yeah, I get the focaccia.
Yes.
I tell you what, it's one of the best thing here.
I've actually bought them a few times at the farmers markets over the years, so it's one of my favorite things to come in for.
Okay, 2201.
Repeat customers the best.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day, ladies. See ya.
Yeah, why do you think it's so hard for people to they stop coming?
I think getting your name out is hard. The first couple of years, it can be really hit or miss. Like, I gave out more samples than I did actual selling of product. Like, anyway, it just ended up being. So you have to learn. It's a huge learning curve. So you adjust and you change things. Started posting more on Facebook and Instagram. I found all of the gluten-free markets, or not markets, but like there's gluten-free Facebook groups. And so I joined those and got my name out that way. And then it starts going by word of mouth. Then I started, I tried to build my own Facebook and Instagram. And then, then I started doing a texting thread that I pay for so people can get the menu. They can sign up for it if they want information directly, which has been super helpful because then it goes straight to, like with social media, it's hit or miss who's going to see it and how quickly or how many of your customers will see. But with the texting, everyone who wants to know gets the text. So I send out, I have like almost 600 people on my texting thread and goes to direct customers who live here who want to come and purchase from me. So that's been really helpful too.
I want you to talk more about that. How do you get that set up?
So it's through Square is the one I use.
So
There's
whenever
different-
someone pay, Square collect that information, right?
Well, actually, it pops up as an option at the end after they pay, and it says, "Do you want to sign up for our?" I give a $5 off coupon, and then they can put in their phone number and sign up directly that way for the texting.
And do you do that on your own, the setup, or Square did that for everyone to have?
I signed up through Square to do it, and it costs money. So it cost me about $64 a month right now. So it kind of, at first it was like 30 and it gets bigger depending on how many people you have. So, but it's worth it because it helps me. It increases my sales dramatically. So
yeah, because you're not completely blind when you come to a market. You already send the text out the week before or something like that.
I usually send it the morning up to remind people so that they come and I send them my whole menu. So people will come and say, I came because I got your text message. So I get that all the time. And then if I'm doing pre-orders for things, like in the next couple of weeks, I'm doing cinnamon roll pre-orders.
My favorite.
And so then I sent the link this morning for people to order them ahead of time to pick up at an event. So.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of vendors should learn is to collect data, email or phone number, or let people follow you on Facebook. Because sometimes I think a lot of vendors get pissed. They go to a market, not a lot of people show up, they blame the host.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I was like, well, did you share on Facebook? Did you tell your people? Yeah.
And I'm not super great at social media because I have to do everything, the baking, taxes, marketing, like all of it. Social media is probably the last thing I actually do. I'm not very good at it. But the texting is nice because it goes, like I said, it goes directly to. I do try to do social media. It's just, I need to be better at it. I need to hire a social media marketer.
I know. Well, I hope the texting go away with Mr. Trump now. I had to say it.
Right?
So what other advice would you give to a vendor that want to come do this?
I would say don't give up after the first couple of weeks. Like it takes time. If you're brand new, it takes time for your name to get out there and for people to recognize you. But then once they do, they'll come back. As long as you have a really good product, they'll continue to come back. And that's the greatest thing. Like if you can get them to sign up for it. If you are really good with social media, you can do like get a free, like for me, like get a free cookie if you sign up for Instagram or things like that. And then that will help get likes and builds and things like that. You want it more. I mean, lots of times people would be like, oh, pay for all these followers, which I understand because you can get money from social media. But for me, I need people here who will come buy my product. So I like to do it more organically. But
yeah, there's no reason to have 20,000 followers if half of them live in the East Coast and you're a small bakery in
Right.
Provo, Utah.
Yep, exactly.
It seems common sense, but a lot of vendors, I feel like a lot of vendors are very good at the craft.
Yes.
When it comes to the business side, the business operation, they don't understand that.
Right. There's a lot. I mean, you have to get the federal tax
Yeah.
ID number. You have to get state and local tax ID stuff. You have to get business licenses. I have to have a cottage license, so I'm inspected by the state. And so there's all those different food handlers permits, all those things. So there's a lot that you have to do. And anyway, but it's good. Like, I've gained a ton of knowledge, and I've actually helped a few people who are starting out, and I've talked them through the process. So.
And Kate, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram and Facebook. It's Kate's GF Kitchen. And then I'm at the Provo Farmers Market. So they're doing a winter market until April 19th, every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2:30. And then Orem Farmers Market starts, and that's on Center Street behind the Orem Library. And that's every Wednesday night from 5 to 9 p.m. from the first week of May until the end of October. And then Provo Outdoor Market starts the first Saturday of June, and that goes until the end of October as well. And that's a Pioneer Park in Provo.
That's a lot of market, lady. So how many is that? 4 markets?
No, 2.
Okay.
I'm at, because this one will end, and then I'll start Orem. And I'll have Orem for a month, and then Provo starts. So I do 2 a week. Sometimes I do pop-ups and other things too at different places. But if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, then I will post, even though I say I'm not very good at it, I'll post and say where my pop-ups are and things. So,
Well, Kate, thank you and good luck today, okay?
thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.